Continuing on with our series on DOT urine specimen collections for drug testing, we've been focusing on the problems that may occur in a DOT urine specimen collection. Today, we're going to talk about what's called temperature out of range and what happens next. We're back with our video blog series on the DOT urine specimen collection process. My donor, Tom, has just came out of the restroom and provided me his specimen. And we checked the restroom to make sure it didn't appear that anything had been tampered with. And I now have your specimen, Tom, and I'm noticing that the temperature is out of range.
Okay, I'm not sure why that would be.
Well, unfortunately, there are certain requirements by the DOT federal regulations that we now have to follow when we have this specimen out of range. So what's going to happen is we're going to finish this collection in its entirety, get it sealed up, ready to send to the lab. And then we're going to have you ask you to provide another specimen. And the second specimen is going to need to be provided under what we call direct observation. Direct observation means that I'm going to be going in the restroom with you, and we need to make sure that the specimen is indeed coming out of your body. So that's why I go in and do a direct observation, because if it comes out of your body, it will be within temperature range. And when we go in for the direct observation, I'm going to ask you to raise your shirt up above the navel, drop down your pants and underpants down to mid-thigh, turn around and do a 360. I'm going to make sure that you're not wearing any type of prosthetic device or some type of device that is designed to cheat the drug test. And then I'm going to have you put your clothes back to your normal position and give you the cup to provide a urine. So again, we're going to finish this first collection. We're going to do that second collection on the direct observation. Are you willing to proceed?
Yeah, I guess I got to do what I got to do, right?
You got to do what you got to do. If you didn't want to proceed, we would end the event and it would be a refusal. So you made the right choice, Tom. No. Okay. So we're going to move on with this collection. And then again, it's really important that the collection be finished in its entirety, the first collection. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this first one. We do always get our specimen bottles sealed up. We put at least 30 milliliters into one bottle, and we put at least 30 milliliters into the second bottle. We got a little extra, we'll pour that off in the toilet once we get your specimens sealed up. And we're going to pull off our seals carefully so that they don't rip or anything. And we're going to go to the A bottle first, one with the most specimen. And we're going to put that right over there. I am going to date that. And I'm going to ask you to initial it, Tom. And we're going to do the second specimen. You might as well hold that pen for a second, as you're going to initial the second one also. Go ahead and initial that, and then I'll date it. All righty. So we have our two specimens. This is what we call specimen 1 of 2. I'm going to go ahead and put these in the bag so we have them kind of out of the way. We're going to finish off on our specimen collection form, our DOT federal drug testing custody and control form. Temperature was not in range. We do have a split collection. I'm going to put in the remarks temp out of range. And this is going to be specimen 1 of 2. And then since there's going to be 1 of 2, we're going to take our next form that we're going to be using, and we're going to record the specimen ID number from the second form here on this form so that they cross-reference each other. So that's going to be really important. So simple remark, temp out of range, specimen 1 of 2, and the specimen ID number from the other form. Then we go to copy 2. And Tom, we would read the certification statement to you. I certify that I provided my urine to the collector, that I have not adulterated in any manner. Each specimen bottle used was sealed with a temp-ribbon seal in my presence, and the information provided on this form and on the label affixed to each specimen bottle is correct. So Tom, I'm going to ask you to sign your name and print your name legibly. Press down hard. It's got to go through 5 copies. I'm going to ask you to put today's date. Then I'm going to ask you to put your phone number, your mobile phone number, and any other phone number, or just put none in the second spot. And then you'll be good to go on your portion of signing it. And we are just going to make sure you wrote legibly. And it did go through the other copies, which is great. Now I'm going to flip back over to copy 1 of the form. And as the collector, I'm going to complete step 4. I'm going to sign my name as the collector. I'm going to print my name. I am going to put the date. I'm going to put the time. And we're going to be releasing this to the Quest Courier. And I'm just going to go back and double check that I filled out everything properly. And I do have the proper notes, temperature out of range, specimen 1 of 2. And I've recorded the specimen ID number from the next form I'm going to be using. Top copy is the lab copy. It's going to go in the bag to the laboratory with the barcode facing out so the lab can scan it. So again, it's really important that we're finishing this first collection in its entirety before we start the second collection, because we don't want to get them mixed up and put the wrong labels on the wrong bottles, and we've seen that happen. Tom, I'm going to give you this copy now. You can leave it to the side. My other copies I'm going to leave to the side because I'm going to distribute them all at the same time. We're going to get rid of this other specimen. We can pour that in the restroom, in the toilet in the restroom. And now we're going to start the second collection. So the second collection is going to be under direct observation. We're going to go through in a lot more detail in the next video coming up about direct observations and how they work. But in this case, of course, Tom, I'm going to have you take a cup. We're going to walk to the restroom. We're going to wash your hands again. Pockets are already empty. Outer garments are already off. I'm going to go in the restroom with you. I'm going to ask you to pull up your shirt, drop down your pants. I'm going to make sure you're not wearing a prosthetic device. And I'm going to watch the urine go from your body into the cup. That will ensure that we have a specimen within range if it came out of your body. Now, very important, on the form, when we do this second collection, we want to check that it was observed. So when we come back and we got the specimen, it was observed. And we're going to put first specimen was out of range. That's the reason why we're doing this observation, because the first specimen was out of range. So on the form, there's an observed box, and the box says enter remark. So the remark is first specimen out of range. Then we're going to put 2 of 2. This is the second of 2 specimens. And we're going to cross-reference the specimen ID number from the first specimen that we collected. This way they cross-reference each other. And then we would finish the rest of the collection process, finish the rest of the filling out the form, seal it up, give you your copy. I would take both sets of copies. MRO is going to get 2 copies. Collector, my records, I'm going to keep 2 copies. And the employer is going to get 2 copies. So 2 specimens are going to the lab. 1 is the out of range specimen. 1 is the in range specimen. That's going to be the test of record, the one that's in range. The first one is just going to the lab for record keeping purposes, and the lab is also doing some analysis to try and keep up with some of the products that are out there designed to help people cheat on the drug test. So the most important thing with a temperature out of range is you have to move to a direct observation collection. Let the donor know right away, because Tom, when I let you know about the direct observation, you may have said, I'm not doing that,
Right.
you know? And in that case, I wouldn't need 2 forms anymore. I wouldn't even need 2 specimens, because if he doesn't want to move forward with that second collection out of range, the event is over and it's a refusal, and I'm going to fill out the paperwork from my first specimen, marking it down that he refused the specimen under direct observation. I'm going to not send anything to the lab, because if I don't have a good specimen to send to the lab, I never send them a bad specimen. And then I'm going to distribute my copies and also call the DER, the designated employer representative at the company, to let them know we didn't get a specimen. This person's refused the test. And for a DOT safety sensitive position, the DER now has a responsibility to remove this individual from their safety sensitive position. So Tom, what was your job again, function?
Driving a truck.
You won't be driving a truck. So that's our temperature out of range. And we'll get more into some additional problem collections in our future videos, including fatal flaws, shy bladder, more detailed explanation of the direct observation and other situations that require direct observation. So stay tuned for those videos. Always remember, all this information is always available anytime on our website, www.nationaldrugscreening.com.